Electric dipole. It's a system of two equal and opposite charges separated by such a distance. This is minus q, this is plus q. Let the distance of separation between these two, let me do it with the 2a, with the O be the center of the dipole. Now here, the negative charge is on left side, the positive charge is on right side. The electric dipole moment, that is P bar, is given by product of any one of the charge, that is only the magnitude, and the distance between the two charges, that is Q into 2a bar, where 2a bar is the arm of the dipole, that is the distance between the two charges, which always we have to take from negative charge to positive charge. So this is a vector whose SI unit is coulomb, this is distance meter, coulomb meter, and the dimensional formula, this is AT, length L, so this is ATL. And the P bar direction, so P bar acts from negative charge to positive charge. So direction of P bar is always from negative to positive charge. This is P bar. If you take a dipole, the line that is passing through the negative and positive charges dipole is called axial line. This is axis or axial line of dipole. The line which is traveling through the center of the dipole and perpendicular to the axial line, this is called equatorial line of dipole. Now, if you take a semicircular section, here let us say this is positively charged here and the remaining half is negatively charged. Here also this is a dipole, this is a dipole, this is a dipole. That means we have large number of dipoles which are acting from right to left in this diagram. This is P1, P2, P3. Now if you take two different charges whose magnitudes are not equal, so let me take on x-axis and y-axis. So this is x-axis, this is y-axis. So here I have taken 6q charge at origin, and at a distance of, let us say, r, I have taken minus 3q, and at same distance r, here I have taken minus 3q. So in this case, we have two dipoles. What is the net dipole moment of these three charges? That's the question. So in this type of problems, here, if you observe this 6q, you can write this as 3q and 3q. 3q this side and 3q this side. The total dipole moment is, so this is one dipole and this is another dipole, and we know that dipole moment acts from negative charge to positive charge. Now we have equal and opposite charges here. So the first dipole moment is along y-axis. So this is Py, and this is from this side to this side, Px. Now the resultant of these two is given by the net dipole moment P net. So how to find out P net here? P net is equal root over Px square plus Py square, which is given by, what is Px? In this dipole, take the magnitude of any one of the charge here, that is 3q, into distance between two charges r whole square. Similarly here also this will be 3qr whole square, which is given by 2 times of 3qr whole square. So P net in this case is good. So P net is equal to root 2 times of the dipole moment of each dipole. So this is the net dipole of this combination. Similarly, if you take one more simple problem here, similar to this one, here I have taken two charges which are not equal in magnitude, like this. So here let me take minus 2q, and here this is q, this is also q, and the angle between these two is 60. Now what is the net dipole moment of this system. To find out the net dipole, once again, this minus 2q, let me write as minus q and minus q. This is one dipole. Distance here is, let us say, 2a. And this is also 2a. Now, this is the first dipole moment, which is P1. And let me take this as a P2. So, the net dipole moment is given by root over P1 square plus P2 square plus 2 P1 cos 60 degrees, because angle between these two dipole moment is 60. What is P? So P1 is equal to P2, because the magnitudes are same, even though the directions are different. The magnitude is given by one of the charge, that is Q into 2A. So that is 2QA. This is the dipole moment. So if you substitute this one, root over 2QA whole square plus 2QA whole square plus 2 into 2QA into 2QA into 1 by 2. So that we can write 2 into 2QA cos 60 1 by 2. Now cancel these two. You will get 2QA whole square plus 2QA whole square. This is also 2QA whole square. 3 into root 2QA whole square. So P net is given by root over 3 into 2QA whole square, which you can give, which you will get root Q 2QA. So this is the P net value for this system. Find dipole moment of the given system. So given figure, in this given figure, here I have taken a semicircular portion and it is charged positively throughout its length, and I have taken a negative charge at the center of this semicircular ring. Now, what is the dipole moment of this one? The total charge on the semicircle is given as plus q here. If you take plus q, this plus q is divided into small elemental portions. So let me take a small portion here. Let me take this distance is r. Let us say this angle is theta and this will be d theta. This is radius r. So this portion is dq of length dl. Now from this what we can write? The total charge on the semicircular ring is q and total length of this one is pi r. Total length is 2 pi r for a circle. This is for semicircle pi r, which is given by dq by this small elemental portion length dl, which we can write dq by r into d theta. That is length of arc is radius into the angle between the two radii vectors. So what is the dipole moment now? Here also in this q, let me take a small portion which is minus dq. Now you can see minus dq and plus dq separated by r is a small dipole moment. So that is elemental dipole. So dipole moment of elemental dipole is given by dp bar is equal the small charge dq into the distance between two charges is r. Now what is dq value? From this what we can write? dq can be written as here dp bar is equal, in place of dq I can write q by pi r into r d theta into, this is the small charge, into the distance between the two elemental charges is r. If you want to find out the total dipole moment, integrate this one. Net dipole moment is given by, we need to integrate dp sin theta components. So P net is equal to integral dp sin theta from limits 0 to pi, because the minimum angle is 0, the maximum angle is 180 pi radians. Now this is our expression. Now you substitute dp value. Here you will get P net is given by integral 0 to pi, where dp is this one, where rr get cancels. This will become q by pi r d theta, because rr get cancels here, dq by pi r d theta sin theta. So what are the constants here? You bring it outside. If you bring the constants outside, you can write q pi r as common, qr by pi integral 0 to pi Sin theta d theta. Integral of sin theta is minus cos theta. So here I can write QR by pi minus cos theta with limits 0 to pi. Now substitute these values to find out the net dipole moment. Here P net is given by QR by pi minus of cos pi minus of minus cos 0, which is given by, this is QR by pi as common, QR by pi minus cos pi is minus 1, minus of minus 1, this will be plus 1, minus of minus plus cos 0 1. So the answer is 2QR by pi. So this is the net dipole moment. Electric field on axial line of dipole and electric field on equatorial line of dipole. Now if you consider a dipole with the distance between the two charges as 2a and charges are minus q and plus q, and a dipole moment is from negative charge to positive charge. We wish to find out electric field at a point P at a distance smaller from the center of the dipole. So what is the electric field on axial line? So to find out the electric field on axial line, we can write electric field on axial line is given by, this is electric field due to positive charge plus electric field due to negative charge. Now we know the equation for electric field on due to a point charge at a distance. This is R, this is A, this is R minus A, which we can write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by, this is R minus A whole square, minus, why it is minus? Because electric field due to positive charge is in the direction of the dipole moment. Electric field due to negative charge will be opposite to this one. That's why minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by R plus A whole square, where the distance between this point and this is R plus A, this is R plus A. So on simplification, we can write this one as q by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by R minus A whole square 1 by R plus A whole square. So this will be q by 4 pi epsilon naught, this is R square minus A square, this will be 4RA, which you can write 2R into 2A. This can be written as 2R into 2A. So directly I am writing this as 2R into 2A. But Q into 2R is P. So electric field on axial line is given by E axial is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2. This is Q into 2A is PR by R square minus A square whole square. So electric field on axial line of a dipole, and if you observe this equation, the electric field on axial line is in the direction of P bar. So here you can write P cap also, where P cap is a unit vector in the direction of the dipole moment. So this is electric field on axial line. Now if you take the dipole and if we wish to find electric field on equatorial line, here this is negative charge, and here if you want to find out electric field due to positive charge will be in this direction, electric field due to negative charge will be in this direction. This is the net electric field. So here if you take this as theta, and this will be theta, and this is E due to negative charge, this is E due to positive charge. Magnitude wise the charges are equal, and the distance of this point from both charges is also equal, which is equal to root over R square plus A square. So here the net electric field is given by, electric field on equatorial line is given by 2E, this is E cos theta and E cos theta, E sin theta components will cancel each other. This will be 2E cos theta, 2 into 1 by 4 pi epsilon, the charge q by root over R square plus A square whole square will become R square plus A square only. And here cos theta is given by, this is A, this is root over R square plus A square, cos theta, side this one, half of the arm of the dipole, that is A by this one. So we can write A by root over R square plus A square. You can observe here, this is the dipole moment, and here this is whole power 1, this is whole power 1 by 2. So the E equatorial line is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by R square plus A square whole power 3 by 2. But if you observe these two diagrams, here the net electric field is acting in the direction of the dipole moment, in this direction, whereas here the net electric field is acting in the opposite direction of dipole moment. This is P bar and this is a electric field which is opposite to the P bar. So that's why we have to write minus P cap here. P cap is unit vector, minus P cap indicates that the electric field is opposite to this dipole moment. So these are the two equations, and you observe this one, this equation 1 and this equation 2. We can write, if the size of the dipole is very small, that means if 2a is negligible when compared to these distances. So here in both cases, if 2a is much lesser than r, then the dipole is said to be ideal dipole or short dipole. So dipole is said to be short or ideal dipole. Then how these equations will change? Let me write here. E axial is given by this one, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p r by r square minus a square. When 2a is very small, a square is negligible, so nearly we can take it as 0. So substitute 0 here, you will get this is r square whole square, r power 4, r get cancelled. This is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p by r cube. This is the electric field on axial line, but here we have P cap. Similarly, in this expression, here also a square will be negligible, this will become 0. So this is r square whole power 3 by 2 square get cancelled. So this is r cube. So E on equatorial line is given by EE. This I will write minus of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by r cube P cap. And if you observe these two equations, we can write the relation between electric field on axial line as well as electric field on equatorial line, which is given by the electric field on axial line, that is EA bar is equal to minus 2 times of electric field on equatorial line. Why? Because the directions are different here. This is along x-axis in this one, here this is along negative x-axis. So the two electric fields are acting in opposite directions. That's why you will get a negative sign here. So the electric field on axial line twice that of the electric field on equatorial line, but its direction is opposite. But if they ask you to find out only the magnitudes, here you can write mod EA bar is equal twice the mod EE bar. Here we are comparing only the magnitudes. This is only magnitudes. The electric field on axial line is twice the electric field on equatorial line. But whereas if you want to take the signs, that means the directions into consideration, then EA is equal to minus 2 EE, both in magnitude and direction. Both in magnitude and directions. Electric field due to a dipole at any arbitrary point. So I have taken a dipole here with charges minus q and plus q, with the distance of separation between these two being 2a, and we know that the dipole moment always acts from negative charge to positive charge. So this is the direction of the dipole moment. Let us say I wish to find out electric field neither on axial line nor on equatorial line, somewhere in between these two. So that's why I am calling it as arbitrary point. If you join this point A with the center of the dipole O, and this is the line which is making some angle theta with the dipole moment. So what are the dipole moment? What is the dipole moment along this direction? If it is P bar, let us say this is P bar at an angle theta in this direction, the dipole moment will be P cos theta. Similarly, if you take a perpendicular line to this one, and if it is P, this is P cos theta, and in this direction this will be P sin theta. So what we can say here, the dipole which is given as this minus q and plus q, let me take it as BC is the dipole. So this DC dipole is made up of two different small dipoles along this and along this. So let me take this as B1 C1 and this is B2 C2. So here I got this BC due to the resultant of these two small dipoles. Why? Because we know that p cos theta whole square plus p sin theta whole square under root will become p bar. So here p is equal to root over p cos theta whole square plus p sin theta whole square, which is equal to p. So BC is the resultant of two different dipoles here, is the resultant of B dash C dash and or I will write B1 C1 and B2 C2. So now if I want to find the electric field at this point here, at this point here, so this is in this direction, this is P cos theta. So what is the electric field on this axial line? The electric field of this BC dipole on its axis at a distance r from the center of dipole, this distance is r. So what is electric field at point A due to B1 C1? So at A, at point A, let me write E axial due to B1 C1, because point A is on the axial line of B1 C1 dipole. So this is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p by r cube for a short dipole. Here also let me take this as a short dipole, which is given by 2p cos theta, because in that direction the dipole moment is p cos theta. So this is 2 of p cos theta by r cube. This is equation 1. Similarly, if you consider point A, that is a point on the equatorial line of this dipole. So this is a B2 C2 is a dipole and this point A is on the equatorial line of the dipole. So electric field at that point A, that is equatorial line due to B2 C2, which is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon p by dq for equatorial line. Here p is p cos theta, this is p sin theta by r cube, equation 2. So at point A we have two different electric fields. One is due to the B1 C1 dipole, other one is due to B2 C2 dipole. Let me show those two here. So here this is a electric field on axial line of B1 C1 and this is the electric field on equatorial line due to B2 C2 dipole. So the resultant dipole is this one. So the resultant of these two is given by here, is given by a line which is the resultant of these two, diagonal of this parallelogram. So this is the E net. So I wish to find out this E net at this point A. So what is E net? By using parallelogram law of vector addition here, I can write E at point A at an angle theta, or at a distance r from the center at an angle theta, which is given by root over E A whole square E whole square plus 2 EA cos 90. Why? Because their E axial, E equatorial are mutually perpendicular to each other. So I can take this as a 90. So now substitute these values and let me substitute these values here. In this case, this will become 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p cos theta by r cube whole square, and the other term is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p sin theta by r cube whole square. This will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p sin theta by r cube whole square. So you can take 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught r cube p common in both. Here p by r cube common. So bring them outside. This will become 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p by r cube root over, the remaining terms are 2 cos theta whole square plus sin theta whole square. This will become 4 cos square theta plus sin square theta. We know that from trigonometric identity, sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So Here we can write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p by r cube root over. This will be 4 cos square theta plus sin square theta. Here we can take 1 cos theta outside. This will become 3 cos square theta plus cos square theta plus sin square theta. So the net electric field at that point A is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p by r cube root over 3 cos square theta plus 1. Remember here, let me continue here. In this, this will become 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p by r cube, and the remaining terms in this equation we can write. This is 3 cos square theta plus cos square theta, which is equal to 4 cos square theta plus sin square theta. Sum of these two equal to 1. That's why I got 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p by r cube root over 3 cos square theta plus 1. This is the electric field at any arbitrary point due to a dipole. But here, if you take this one, if you continue, if theta is equal to 0, that means if that point A is on the axial line of this BC dipole, 0, if theta is equal to 0, so you will get a point somewhere here. So that is nothing but the axial line of the original dipole. So here, if theta is equal to 0, you will get 3 cos square 0, cos square 0 is 1. So 3 into 1 square is 3 plus 1 4. Under root 4 it will become 2. So we will get E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p by r cube, which is our resultant axial line. Similarly, if you take theta 90, let us say this angle is 90 somewhere here, then theta will become 90. Cos 90 is 0, 0 square is 0, 0 into 3 is 0, and 0 plus 1 is 1. So root 1 is also 1. So our equation will become 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p by r cube into 1. So this is possible. If theta is equal to 90, then E equal is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p by r cube. And this is the axial line equation, and this is the equivalent equation. So based on this equation, we can derive or we can show that electric field on axial line is 2p by r cube of k, and electric field equivalent is p by r cube into k, where k is the Coulomb's constant. Electric field due to a dipole at any arbitrary point, just now we derived this one, E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p by r cube root over 3 cos square theta plus 1, where theta is the angle made by this position vector with the dipole moment p bar. So this is p bar, and this is angle theta, and this is r. So at that point, if you redraw the diagram here, so this is E axial, this is perpendicular to this one E equatorial, and if you construct one parallelogram here, this will be E net. The same diagram I am drawing here, this is alpha, and this is the line, and this angle theta. So what is the direction of the E net with dipole moment p bar? This is p bar. You can see here, this is theta, and this is alpha. With dipole moment p bar, the net electric field is making an angle theta plus alpha. So E net is inclined at an angle theta plus alpha with p bar. That is the direction of the dipole moment. The net electric field is inclined at an angle theta plus alpha with p bar. But how to find this alpha? Because theta will be given in the problem itself, but we need to find out alpha. Now in this, if you want to find out alpha here, this alpha, so let me take tan alpha is equal to the opposite side. So in the parallelogram, the opposite sides are equal. So if it is EE, this is also EE. So opposite side is EE by the adjacent side is EA. We know the magnitude of EE and the magnitude of EA. Let me substitute here. This will become 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p sin theta by r cube by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p cos theta by r cube. Now you can cancel this r cube, pp get cancels. So here tan alpha is equal to half of sin by cos is tan theta. So this is the final expression where alpha is equal to tan inverse of half tan theta. So this is the relation between theta and alpha, where alpha is the angle made by the resultant with p cos theta, not with p. This is p cos theta. In a problem, it is given that E net is perpendicular to P bar. The net electric field at point, let me take this point as A, at A, the net electric field is perpendicular to P bar. Then find theta, theta is not given, theta electric field in this case. Now, here it is given that theta plus alpha is equal to 90. Why? Because E net perpendicular to P bar here. E net is perpendicular to P bar. So sum of theta plus alpha must be equal to 90. So let me write this one. Theta plus alpha is equal to 90 degrees. Here alpha will become 90 minus theta, equation 1. Now we know that the relation between electric field direction with dipole moment. Here what we can write, tan alpha is equal half of tan theta. Here tan of alpha is 90 minus theta. This will become 90 minus theta is equal to half of tan theta. Tan of 90 minus theta is cot theta, which can be given by tan theta by 2. Cot theta is 1 by tan theta, which is equal to tan theta by 2. From this cross multiplying these two, you will get tan square theta is equal to 2, or tan theta is equal to root 2, and theta is equal to actually plus or minus root 2, or tan inverse root 2. So this is how we can find out the angle made by this position vector with dipole moment. But they are asking us to find out E also, that is E at this point along this point and this point. So what is E axial? From this what we can write, tan theta is equal to root 2. Let me draw the diagram. If it is tan theta is adjacent opposite side by adjacent side, that is root 2 by 1. So this will become root 3. Now E axial at this point, at point A, this is I am finding both EA and EE. This will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p cos theta by r cube. But what is cos theta here? From this what we can write? Cos theta 1 by root 3. So this will be 1 by this, I will write it as k for simplification. K 2p by r cube into cos theta is 1 by root 3. Similarly E equatorial line will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, let me write this as k p sin theta by r cube, which is kp by r cube. Here sin theta is equal to root 2 by root 3. This will be root 2 by root 3. Now, if they ask us to find out axial and equatorial line, okay. Otherwise, if they ask us to find out the net electric field, that is E net, then E net is given by, in our equation, E net is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p by r cube root over 3 cos square theta plus 1. So here the E net is given by k by kp by r cube root over 3 cos square theta plus 1. We know that cos theta is 1 by root 3, cos square theta 1 by 3. So this will be kp by r cube root over 3 into 1 by 3 plus 1. This will become 1 plus 1 to root 2. So root 2 kp by r cube. So this is the net electric field if theta and alpha, sum of these two is 90, or E net is perpendicular to P bar. Says that a point charge Q is placed at a point 0, 0, that means origin. Calculate the electric field at x, y in vector form. We know that the electric field due to a point charge is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. So here I have taken the coordinate system, and here A is 0, 0, that is the origin, and B is a point, the coordinates are given as x comma y, and a charge q is placed at origin. Here the charge q is placed. So this is the position vector of that point with respect to the origin. Now to find out electric field, the scalar form E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by this distance square. What is this distance square? We can find out the length of line as x minus 0 whole square plus y minus 0 whole square and root. So let me write this one as root over x minus 0 whole square y minus 0 whole square. This is the distance, but according to the formula, charge by distance square. So the electric field is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by x square plus y square, because square and root get cancelled each other. Now, but we are trying to find out this in vector form. So to find out this one, first if you take this point, the electric field due to this charge at this point always acts along the line joining this charge with that point. So this is the direction of the electric field. Now you can resolve this into two components. If it is x comma y, you resolve these two components. One is Ex, the other one is Ey. So what is Ex? We can write this as E cos theta, and Ey E sin theta. So to find out this one, what is E cos theta? We know the magnitude of E is this one. So E cos theta is given by, that is, let me take this as k. This is k q by x square plus y square, and the angle made by this unit vector with x-axis theta. So in this problem, what is cos theta? You can take this. So this is x, this is y, and this will be root over x square plus y square. So cos theta is given by x by root over x square plus y square. But what is the direction of Ex here? This is in along x-axis. So let me keep it as I cap. Similarly, what is this Ey component? This is E sin theta k q by x square plus y square. But here sin theta is opposite side by adjacent side, y by root over x square plus y square j cap. Now I want to find out this in vector form, which is given by E is equal to E bar is equal to Ex sin cos theta plus E sin theta. So E bar is given by, you can take E common here, or here this E cos theta is this one. So you can write k q by x square plus y square whole power 3 by 2. So this is a whole power 1, this is whole power 1 by 2, we will get to 3 by 2. And what are the remaining terms here? X I cap, y j cap. So the answer is x I cap plus y j cap. Linear charge density of arc is lambda, and the total angle at the center is alpha. Direction for the potential. So here this is a arc with the charge, linear charge density lambda. Now let me take the center of this one. Here it is making angle alpha. I need to find out the electric potential due to this arc. So for this, let me take one small element here whose charge is dq. Let me join this. So let us say this is theta, and this angle will be d theta. Now the potential due to the small element is given by k, where k is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq by, let the radius of this one is r, this is also r. So equation 1. But here how you can write this one? Lambda is equal to dq by dl. So what is this dl? dl is radius into angle, that is dq by lambda r into d theta. So in place of dq you can write lambda r d theta. Let me take this as equation 2. Now to find out the total potential due to this arc, integrate this one dv with limits. Here minimum angle is 0, the maximum angle is alpha. So the limits are 0 to alpha. So this is 0 to alpha k by r. In place of dq I am going to write lambda r d theta. Here r get cancels. The potential is given by k lambda constant integral d theta with the limits 0 to alpha. So this is k lambda into integral d theta is theta with the limits 0 to alpha. So this is k lambda alpha minus 0, the potential due to this one is k lambda alpha. So this is the expression. If you want to substitute k value here, you can write this as lambda alpha by, because these are the given values, lambda and alpha in the problem. So your final answer should be in terms of the given data only, lambda alpha. K means 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. So this is if separation between 2 point charges decreases, then electric potential energy of increases, whether it is true or false. We know that if there are two charges Q1 and Q2 separated by some distance r, the potential energy is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by r. Here, if the separation decreases, if r decreases, we can say potential energy increases. So they are telling electric potential energy system increases, whether it is true or false. Yes, if distance decreases, potential energy increases. It is true in case of two positive charges. If both are positive, yes, potential energy increases. Let us say if you take plus 1 coulombs here, minus Q2 coulombs here, and this distance is r. Now what is the potential energy in the second case? This is U1, this is U2, this is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. As it is a scalar quantity, we need to consider the signs of the charges also, which is Q1 into minus Q2 by r. So this is a negative. So this potential energy is negative. If r decreases, this negative value of potential energy increases. So it will become more negative. More negative means it value decreases. So here if for both positive charges, potential energy increasing, one positive and negative, the potential energy will not increase. As it is a negative quantity, it will decrease. That means it is true for two positive or two negative charges for both, but false in case of opposite charges. It is false. So what we can say? The potential energy between two charges not only depends between the distance, but also depends upon the sign of the charges. So U depends on two factors. One is distance of separation. Second one, sign of charges. And we need to write one more point also, which is equal to the medium between the two charges, because whenever the medium changes, the potential energy between these two also changes. This is for air. For any other medium, it will become 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught k. In this problem, a region consists of uniform electric field and uniform gravity G. This is acceleration due to gravity. This is the electric field, which are mutually perpendicular to each other. We know that small g always acts downwards. So let me take this is a small g, which is acting downwards, and for this electric field is perpendicular, means either it should be acting along x-axis or negative x-axis. So let me take this as x-axis, E. Now, what is the force acting? Let us say one charge is placed here. Let the charge is Q. This is the charge. Q is placed. Now, it has some mass also. So Q comma M. Due to gravitational force, this charged particle will experience a force vertically downward, that is gravitational pull of the earth. But due to electric force, it will try to move in the horizontal direction. So charged particle will have two different directions, means two different motions. Now first, along x-axis, the force experienced is equal to EQ, which is equal to MA. Force F is equal to MA. So what is the acceleration along x-axis? This is EQ by M. This is equation 1. What is the acceleration experienced by the charge particle along y-axis or towards the earth? That we can write as AY, which is equal to G. So this is along x-axis, along y-axis. Now, initially it is placed, so starting to move, it is starting from move means the initial velocity is 0. So what is the displacement of this charged particle in along x-axis? X is equal to ut plus half L square. Let me write half ax t square. So x is equal to half. This is uq by m into t square. So this I will take it as equation this is 2, this is 3. But along y-axis also it has a displacement, so that I will write y is equal to ut plus half l square, as initial velocity is 0, directly I can write half, in along y-axis acceleration is g t square. This is equation 4. From 3 and 4 you can see, in place of t square you can write 2xm by eq. So substitute t square value here. So this equation will become y is equal to half g. What is t square? Cross multiplication, 2xm by eq. 2xm by eq. That is t square value. So y can be written as, this 2 get cancelled. This will become mg by eq. This is capital Q, because here it is given as capital Q. Let me write this as capital Q. eq into x. So this is the equation of the trajectory. In this problem, a dipole is placed in uniform electric field E bar at an angle theta. Find what value of theta, torque on dipole is maximum and equilibrium is stable. The torque equation tau is equal to Pe sin theta. When the torque is maximum, P and E are constant, so it depends on theta. Let us say if theta is equal to 90 degrees or 270 degrees, tau is equal to Pe. So the maximum value of Pe is equal to, torque is equal to plus or minus Pe. Plus Pe in one direction, minus P in opposite direction, but both magnitudes are maximum. Now equilibrium is stable. When this dipole will be in a stable equilibrium. For any system to be in stable equilibrium, its potential energy must be minimum. So whenever the potential energy is minimum, then the system is said to be in stable equilibrium. So the potential energy of this particle is going by minus Pe cos theta. So for this to be minimum, this value must be minimum. So what is the minimum value of this cos theta? Here, if theta is equal to 0 degrees, the potential energy will become minus Pe into cos 01. So the potential energy is equal to product of dipole moment and electric field. So whenever the dipole is parallel to the field, that means theta is equal to 0 means parallel to the field, then it will have minimum potential energy and the dipole is said to be in stable equilibrium. In this problem, an infinite number of point charges each equal to q coulombs are placed at 1, 2, 4, 8 and so on. Calculate electrostatic potential at origin. So here, this is the diagram. This is the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, like this. So the charges are placed at 1, 2, next charge 4, next charge 8 and so on up to infinite distance. Now I want to find out potential at the origin here. So the potential at the origin is equal to potential due to first charge, potential due to charge at 2, potential due to charge at 4, potential due to charge at 8 and so on, potential at infinite distance. So this can be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is common here. The first one q by 1, second one q by 2 because charge by distance, q by 4, q by 8 and so on, q by infinite. Now, so you can write this as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, q also common, 1 plus 1 by 2, 1 by 4, 1 by 8 up to 1 by infinite. This is Gp with the 1 being the first term and 1 by 2 be the common ratio here. So we know that the sum of infinite terms is equal to a by 1 minus r. In this, a is equal to first term is 1 and common ratio 1 by 2. So sum of the infinite terms is equal to 1 by 1 minus r. Sum of infinite terms is 1 by, this 1 by 2 will become 2. So this formula will become q by 4 pi epsilon naught. So this total value will be 2. So 2 get cancelled. Therefore the potential at this point is q by 2 pi epsilon naught. Seventh problem. If numerical value of potential and field of a short dipole at a point r distance away from the center of the dipole is equal, then find the minimum value of r. So I have taken a dipole here. So this is the dipole minus q plus q. this is center O, at a distance r. Here both the electric field as well as electric potential are numerically equal. So potential equal to field. So what is the potential if this is making some angle theta with the x-axis or the dipole moment? So V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P cos theta by r square. This is equal to, numerically equal to, that means we are not considering the direction of this electric field, only the magnitude. So here it will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by r cube root over 3 cos square theta plus 1. So this is the expression. Now numerically they are equal means first you can cancel this, then this, then this and this. So now we have cos theta by r square is equal 3 cos square theta plus 1 by r cube. Now you can cancel this and this also. So this is under root. So square rooting on both sides. Square rooting r square cos square theta is equal 3 cos square theta plus 1. I need r value. So r square is equal 3 cos square theta plus 1 by cos square theta. This 3 cos of the cos square theta is 3 plus 1 by cos square theta will be secant square theta. So I got this value r square is equal to 3 plus secant square theta. Here I need the minimum value of r. That means r should be minimum. 3 is a constant. That means I need to find out the minimum value of secant theta. We know that theta, let us say 0, secant theta, let us say secant 0. Secant 0 is 1. So the minimum value of secant theta when theta is equal to 0 degrees is 1. So this will become r square is equal to 3 plus 1 which is equal to 4. So r is equal to 2. Problem 8. If electric potential energy of a given system is positive. So potential energy is positive, then show that 2q greater than 3q. So here in this problem, how many pairs are there? Because to find out the potential energy, we need to consider each and every pair. So this is one pair, this is second pair, this is third pair. So the total potential energy of this system is given by U is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, product of two charges and distance between those two. So let me take 2q into q. This will be 2q into q by distance between these two is A. Next one, q into minus q, q into minus q by A. Next one, 2q into minus q by A. So these are the three pairs. First one 2q, next one q minus q, next one minus q 2q. So this is the total potential energy. But it is given that this energy is not negative. Even though one of the charge is negative, the total potential energy of the system is positive. So here U is equal, let me take this as K, this is 2q square by A minus q small q by A minus 2 capital Q small q by A. So U is equal, you can take K by A common, the remaining terms are 2q square minus 3 capital Q small q. This is the potential energy of the system of three charges at three corners of a triangle, equal triangle. Now for the electric potential energy to be positive, K is always a constant which is 9 in 10 power 9 which is positive. A side of the triangle always positive and this value must be positive. So 2q square minus 3q should be greater than 0. So then only this will be positive value. So now let me write 2q square should be greater than 3 capital Q small q. Q get cancelled. So we can write 2q greater than 3 small q. This is the ninth problem. A ring of radius r is charged uniformly by lambda. So this is a ring of some charge. Total charge is not given, but the linear charge density on this one is lambda. So this is distance from the center on the axis. This is radius. So they are asked to find out potential at center as well as the relation between potential and distance x from the center. So this is the distance x from the center to this point and this one potential. So how to find out the potential here? The potential, so to find out the potential at this point, let me take a small element here whose charge is dq and the distance will be root over r square plus x square. So the small potential is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon that I am going to write in k in problems. Q 1 by 4 epsilon q dq by the distance will be root over r square plus x square. But what is this dq? We know that dq is equal to lambda into that small distance which is given by dl. So here you can write this as k lambda dl by root over r square plus x square. So this is the electric potential due to small element. To find out the total potential, integrate this value. So as it is a scalar quantity, no need to convert this into components. Directly you just integrate this one. So integral dv, which is given by k lambda dl by root over r square plus x square. But what is the variable here? dl is the only variable. So here if you take this one, v is equal to k constant lambda constant root over r square plus x square. So this will be integral dl. What is integral dl? dl is the small elemental portion of the circumference. Total integration of dl is l, which is equal to 2 pi r. So this is k lambda into 2 pi r by root over r square plus x square. So this is the expression. Now if you want to find out the electric potential at the center means x will become 0. So V at the center, this is an axis. Vx center is given by k lambda into 2 pi r by this x will become 0. So root over r square under root cancel, this will become r get cancelled. This will become 2 pi k lambda. 2 pi k lambda. So this is the question. Plot the following graphs. Electric field due to a conducting sphere with a distance from the center. Now if you take a conducting sphere, this is a conducting sphere, charge will reside only on its surface. From the center, how the electric field changes? We know that within the conducting sphere at any point, the potential is constant, but the electric field is 0 inside a conducting sphere. But if you move away from this one, slowly the electric field equation will become 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by x square. So outside the sphere, electric field distance are inversely proportional to each other. Actually speaking, E inversely proportional to x square. Now, if you want to draw the graph for this one, let us say this is electric field, this is the distance from the center, and this is a point where x is equal to r, that is here, this point where x is equal to r, where r is the radius of the conducting sphere. Till here there is no electric field, means the graph here, this will be along x-axis. So here the electric field is 0. After that, electric field rises suddenly, and afterwards it is a parabola. So here E inversely proportional to x square. So from the radius, or from the surface of the sphere. Before that, here E is equal to 0 within the sphere or inside the sphere, within the sphere or inside the sphere. Inside the sphere, electric field is 0. Outside, it is gradually decreases with the distance. This is first part. Now, second one, electric potential energy of a pair of two like charges within distance r between them. Now, what is the potential? This is A. Now, this is B. The potential energy of two like charges 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R. Here this is a constant, product of charge is constant. Whenever R changes, U changes. So U inversely proportional to R. So whenever two physical quantities are inversely proportional to each other, the corresponding graph is always a rectangular hyperbola. So this is U and this is R. So U inversely proportional to R. So this is a rectangular hyperbola. This is a parabola. This is a rectangular hyperbola.